Imagine your life unfolding before you as a vast, untouched canvas, and each dawn arrives bearing a fresh brush and a new palette of possibilities. The profound question echoes: what masterpiece will you choose to paint today? What vibrant hues of action? What resolute strokes of mindset? What deliberate patterns of habit will tell the story you wish to live? The undeniable truth is that monumental success isn't forged in a single explosive act, but meticulously crafted day by intentional day. Listen now, deeply, to a truth that can reshape your very existence. There are foundational practices, subtle yet potent shifts, that when woven consistently into the fabric of your daily routine, possess the power to fundamentally alter your path, sculpting your character, igniting your deepest ambitions, and dramatically transforming the landscape of your future. Consider for a moment the plight of a ship adrift without a determined course. Though it may churn through vast oceans, carried by the capricious currents of the wind, its journey is ultimately directionless, a state of perpetual motion without true arrival. This mirrors the human condition for many who greet each morning without a clear, defined purpose. They may be consumed by ceaseless activity, a whirlwind of busyness, yet busyness itself is not the same as genuine progress. Relentless motion is not synonymous with meaningful achievement. Clarity, above all else, is the bedrock upon which all lasting greatness is built. No enduring empire, no profound revolution, no legacy that resonates through time was ever constructed upon a foundation of confusion. The human mind, left untamed, is akin to a wild, untrained force, restless, prone to chaos, easily swayed by the strongest pull, whether it be the clamor of distractions, the weight of external demands, or the crushing burden of expectations, assailing from every conceivable angle. Without the anchor of clarity, these forces dictate your trajectory, yet in that single decisive moment you articulate an intention, the instant you seize command of your direction, the external world loses its power to arbitrarily chart your course. Before the relentless noise of the day descends, before the myriad pressures of the world fragment your focus, pause, take a breath, define with crystal precision one singular, clear goal for the hours ahead. Not a list of 10, not even 5, just one. Its significance need not be earth-shattering, its scope need not encompass a lifetime, but it must be imbued with intention. Perhaps it is the resolution of a long procrastinated decision, the completion of a daunting task, or the deliberate act of absorbing a new piece of knowledge. The true power of this daily goal lies not in its magnitude, but in its luminous clarity. When you offer your mind a specific, undeniable target, you infuse it with purpose. You elevate your existence from passive drifting to active pursuit, shifting from merely reacting to consciously responding, from being shaped by the day to deliberately shaping it. This, in essence, is the quiet secret to extraordinary achievement. It is not found in fleeting surges of inspiration, nor in the idle realm of wishful thinking. It resides in the meticulous stacking of deliberate, purposeful days, one upon the other. The individual who consciously defines their aim at dawn is the architect carving their own destiny. A vague aspiration never built a monument, a blurred vision never forged a legacy. Clarity did, and it always will. Understand this profound truth. Your mindset is the invisible force shaping your destiny. It is not the fickle hand of luck, not the unpredictable tides of circumstance, nor even the raw potential of inherent talent that influences the course of your life as powerfully as the very way you choose to think. At the heart of an unwavering, resilient mind lies a practice as simple as it is transformative: gratitude. Most people awaken each day burdened by anticipation, their minds immediately fixated on the looming challenges, dwelling on what is missing, conjuring scenarios of what could inevitably go wrong. This pervasive pattern of thought is a self-imposed confinement, trapping them in the suffocating confines of fear, doubt, and negativity. What they fail to grasp is the inherent power they hold to alter this reality entirely through the cultivation of one small, consistent habit, a practice requiring less than a minute, yet capable of fundamentally rewiring the mind for strength and perspective. Each morning, before the world's demands scatter your energy in 1,000 directions, pause, breathe deeply, consciously list 3 things for which you are genuinely grateful. These need not be monumental blessings. They could be as fundamental as the simple act of waking, the shelter above your head, a connection shared with a friend, or a new opportunity, however nascent. Gratitude is not an act of naive optimism that ignores difficulty. It is a conscious, powerful choice to acknowledge and appreciate the good that already exists. This fundamental shift in perspective is not mere wishful thinking. It is raw, potent power. When your focus shifts from the perceived scarcity of what you lack to the tangible abundance of what you possess, your mind transcends limitation and embraces possibility, and a mind trained to perceive possibility will inevitably find pathways forward. It will discern opportunities hidden within obstacles, and it will forge creative solutions instead of succumbing to excuses. Let this truth settle deep within you. Gratitude is more than a fleeting emotion. It is a discipline. It is a formidable weapon against the corrosive influence of doubt, fear, and anxiety. Those who cultivate it are not easily shaken by hardship, for they have trained their minds to look beyond immediate setbacks, to focus on what can be done rather than dwelling on what cannot. The strongest minds are not those who have never faced adversity, but those who have mastered the profound art of perspective, and gratitude is the very foundation of that mastery. Every mind that has left an indelible mark upon history has been forged in the crucible of knowledge. The accumulated wisdom of epochs past, the penetrating insights of the present, and the boundless potential of the future. These are the essential building blocks of both intellectual and personal evolution. If you aspire to elevate your consciousness, to hone your mind into an instrument of unparalleled clarity and power, you must commit to becoming a lifelong student of wisdom. While the world relentlessly bombards you with distractions, few pursuits offer the profound, transformative power of the simple act of reading. A single book holds the potential to dramatically alter the trajectory of your entire life. One powerful idea, one sudden profound realization, can dismantle deeply ingrained limitations and unveil possibilities you never imagined existed. Knowledge is not merely power, it is liberation. It frees you from the shackles of ignorance, from the stagnation of unchallenged thought, from the repetitive cycles that keep you confined. Every page you turn expands the horizons of your perspective, allowing you to see beyond the narrow confines of your current understanding. The greatest leaders, the most profound thinkers, the most innovative creators, they all share an insatiable thirst for learning. They intuitively understand that the mind, like the body, requires consistent nourishment and rigorous exercise. Just as muscles strengthen under the discipline of training, the mind becomes sharper, more agile, and more powerful with regular exposure to new ideas, challenging philosophies, and novel ways of perceiving the world. The key lies in this daily discipline, a commitment to reading, even if only for 30 minutes. It is a small, seemingly insignificant investment that yields immeasurable dividends. Some may dismiss books as relics of a bygone era, but true wisdom transcends time. It is not about the fleeting acquisition of information, it is about the profound pursuit of depth. While superficial news feeds and shallow content deluge your mind with transient noise, books demand patience, engagement, and thoughtful contemplation. They compel you to think critically, to question assumptions, to reflect deeply. In a world that champions quick fixes and instant gratification, the act of reading is a quiet rebellion, a powerful declaration that you value depth over superficiality, that you aspire to mastery over the comfortable embrace of mediocrity. You are truly always just one book away from a pivotal breakthrough. A single well-placed insight holds the potential to irrevocably shift your mindset, revolutionize your habits, and propel you onto a path of extraordinary achievement. But that transformative breakthrough will remain forever out of reach if you do not take the deliberate first step. Make the unwavering commitment, 30 minutes each day. Let this be the unbreakable foundation upon which you build an unshakable mind. In time, you will look back and realize that the most valuable investment you ever made was in the relentless strengthening of your own intellect. You stand, unequivocally, as the master of your fate, the true captain of your soul, not by the capricious hand of chance, nor by the unpredictable whims of fortune, but by the supreme shaping power of your own thoughts. Your mind is a fertile field, rich with unimaginable potential, yet it yields only what is sown within it. Plant the seeds of doubt and fear, and your harvest will inevitably be failure and despair. But sow within it the golden seeds of unwavering belief, resolute determination, and purposeful intention, and your life will bear fruit beyond your wildest dreams. Consider, for a stark moment, the man who perpetually whispers to himself, "I am weak." His shoulders visibly slump, his voice lacks conviction, his very presence seems to shrink. He requires no external restraints of iron shackles, for he has already bound himself tightly in the invisible chains of self-doubt. Conversely, the man who boldly declares, "I am strong, I am capable, I shall overcome," walks with an undialed purpose, speaks with resonant conviction, and acts with an unshakable confidence that bends circumstances to his indomitable will. The profound difference between these two men is not one of birthright or external circumstance. It is a fundamental difference in thought. Pay excruciatingly close attention to the relentless, silent dialogue unfolding within your own mind, for within it lies the precise blueprint of your destiny. If you whisper to yourself, "I cannot," you issue a command, and your mind and body will comply, retreating from the challenge. If instead you choose to declare, "I am learning how," you ignite within yourself the vibrant spirit of growth, the spark that transmutes daunting obstacles into navigable stepping stones. Never utter the self-defeating phrase, "I am not good enough." Choose instead to affirm, "I am improving, consistently, every single day." This seemingly small shift in language has the power to transform not only your internal state, but the very reality you experience. Words are not merely ephemeral sounds, they are potent forces. They are the silent architects, meticulously shaping the structure of your life. Every word you speak is a seed planted in the fertile garden of your subconscious. Speak of failure, and it shall bloom. Speak of greatness, and it shall bear abundant fruit. The most successful individuals throughout history, those who have ascended from humble beginnings to command industries, accumulate vast wealth, and exert undeniable influence, have all mastered this essential secret. They have spoken into existence the lives they aspired to create, long before those lives manifested in the physical realm. Let no one claim that fate is cruel, for fate is but the obedient servant of thought. Speak wisely, think boldly, and act with unwavering faith, and the world itself will inevitably shape itself to your determined will. Humanity was not designed for a life of effortless ease, but for the exhilarating challenge of conquest. History's most impactful narratives were not penned by those who sought refuge in comfortable predictability, nor has true success ever been claimed by the individual paralyzed by the fear of struggle. Comfort is an insidious, silent thief. It slowly erodes ambition, dulls the keen edge of the spirit, and lulls the mind into a state of passive complacency. Each instance you actively choose to avoid discomfort, you do not merely stand still, you are in fact actively moving backward. Genuine growth is the undeniable offspring of adversity, and those who dare to aspire to greatness must first willingly embrace the very trials that forge it. The individuals who have ascended to prominence in our time, those who have risen from obscurity to lead vast enterprises, accumulate significant wealth, and wield substantial influence, share a defining characteristic. They do not shrink from difficulty. Instead, they actively seek it. They lean into discomfort with the deliberate intention of a blacksmith working his steel in the searing heat, understanding that only through the intense resistance of the fire can true strength and resilience be tempered. They grasp the fundamental truth that real progress is not found in passive repose, but at the very boundaries of their endurance. If you are to carve your own indelible mark among such individuals, you must train yourself, with unwavering discipline, to willingly endure what others instinctively recoil from. Deliberately choose to do something uncomfortable every single day. Rise before the sun, claiming dominion over the quiet solitude of the morning. Push yourself beyond the limits of fatigue, beyond the seductive call of convenience, beyond the boundaries of what you once believed was possible. Speak your truth even when your voice trembles. Take decisive action when fear whispers insidious reasons to delay. Risk failure when the path of least resistance offers deceptive safety. Each conscious act of embracing discomfort expands your capacity, hardens your resolve, and strengthens the very sinews of your spirit. Internalize this truth. The more willingly you embrace discomfort, the more formidable you become. Each struggle you conquer is a fundamental stone laid in the foundation of your inevitable success. Every hardship faced with courage tightens the essential fibers of your character. You were not created for a life of comfortable mediocrity, but for a life defined by triumphant achievement. The world does not yield to the one who seeks ease, but to the one who endures, persists, and ultimately conquers. Therefore I implore you, reject ease. Reject the paralyzing temptation of stagnation. Welcome challenge into your life, as you would a trusted old friend, for it is within its demanding embrace that your true formidable potential lies dormant. The individual who dares to confront and endure suffering today shall ultimately be the master of their tomorrow. The attainment of success is not a privilege reserved solely for the fortunate, nor is failure the predetermined fate of the unlucky. Both outcomes are the direct consequence of habit, the powerful result of either the consistent application of discipline or the debilitating absence of it. And in this hyper-connected modern era, there exists no greater adversary to discipline than the relentless tide of distraction. It is the silent assassin of dreams, the insidious thief that steals purpose from individuals while they remain utterly unaware. It does not announce itself with forceful intrusion. Instead, it subtly seeps into the mind, scattering attention, dulling the keen edge of ambition, and insidiously replacing meaningful progress with hollow, idle indulgence. We exist in a world designed to relentlessly clamor for your attention, an endless cascade of noise, ceaseless demands, trivial diversions meticulously crafted to pull your focus in 100 different directions simultaneously. But let this truth resonate deeply within you. What you choose to focus on, you inherently nourish and empower. If you allow your mind to be constantly drawn into the swirling vortex of distractions, you will inevitably water the seeds of mediocrity, cultivating a life of unfulfilled potential. But if you learn to direct your focus with the unwavering precision of a laser beam, you will cultivate a harvest of undeniable greatness. An individual whose mind is fixated on problems will find themselves utterly consumed by them, drowning in a sea of doubt and despair. Yet the individual who diligently trains their mind to actively seek solutions will discover that every difficulty, no matter how daunting, holds within it the seed of opportunity. The choice is profoundly his to make, and it is profoundly yours. Master your focus, and you will, in turn, master your destiny. Train your mind to engage in solitary, focused tasks. Ignore the seductive siren song of constant interruptions. Turn off the incessant notifications. Silence the trivial demands that chip away at your concentration. Set aside specific, protected hours for deep, undisturbed, meaningful work. Make focused concentration a sacred, inviolable ritual, one that cannot be disrupted by the fleeting whims of the external world. Understand this with absolute clarity. The individual who controls their focus ultimately controls their future. Distraction is the comfortable refuge of the unfocused, the convenient excuse of the uncommitted. But the individual who commands their attention with the sharp, unwavering precision of a warrior wielding their sword will carve their name indelibly upon the pillars of history. So I urge you, guard your focus with the same fierce vigilance with which you would protect your most precious fortune, for in truth its value is immeasurably greater. Allow no idle pleasure, no trivial concern to steal from you the destiny that is yours to claim through deliberate effort. Train your mind, direct your thoughts with unwavering intention, and the world itself will bow to the undeniable power of your focused, unwavering attention. The path to true success is not magically paved with good intentions, nor is it spontaneously constructed upon fleeting bursts of transient inspiration. It is meticulously built, brick by unyielding brick, with the hard, enduring material of discipline, a force unyielding, unbreakable, and utterly essential. Discipline is the bridge that spans the chasm between ambitious goals and tangible achievement. It is the fundamental force that decisively separates those who merely dream from those who resolutely do. The individual who successfully masters discipline becomes, in essence, the master of their own fate. The individual who tragically lacks it becomes a passive slave to circumstance. Let me reveal a powerful truth that few dare to fully embrace. Feelings are notoriously unreliable guides. If you allow yourself to wait until you feel ready, you will in all likelihood wait forever. If you choose to act only when it is perfectly convenient, you will accomplish absolutely nothing of significance. Discipline is the unshakable capacity to do what undeniably must be done, regardless of whether or not you feel like doing it. It is the deliberate act of rising before the sun when the warmth of your bed tempts you to linger. It is the commitment to working when others choose to rest, persisting when others surrender to exhaustion, pushing forward relentlessly when the weak succumb to excuses. Discipline is not an innate trait, it is a muscle, and like any muscle, it grows demonstrably stronger with consistent, deliberate use. Every single time you choose action over procrastination, every time you show up instead of surrendering to the gravitational pull of weakness, you actively fortify the strength of your will. Every time you honor the commitments you make to yourself, you build an unshakable foundation of trust in your own capabilities, a profound inner confidence that cannot be bestowed, only earned through diligent effort. And trust me, relentless self-discipline is the ultimate key to genuine freedom. The undisciplined individual is perpetually bound by their impulses, easily controlled by external distractions, tragically shackled by the fleeting whims of the present moment. But the disciplined individual, he is the true master of himself. He does not passively seek motivation, for he has no need of it. He acts regardless of feeling, and in doing so he seizes undeniable control over his own destiny. Internalize this fundamental principle. Talent may indeed open doors of opportunity, but it is only unwavering discipline that will keep them wide open. Ambition may ignite the initial spark of desire, but it is only consistent discipline that will keep that flame burning brightly. No individual has ever achieved true greatness without first learning to master the powerful force within themselves. Therefore, I implore you, train yourself with the same rigorous intensity that a warrior trains for battle. Strengthen your will, harden your resolve, and consciously choose discipline today, tomorrow, and every single day that follows. For when discipline ceases to be a temporary effort and becomes instead your very way of life, success ceases to be a possibility and becomes an inevitable certainty. No individual exists in isolation, solely as the product of their own thoughts and actions. You are, in fact, a powerful reflection of the individuals with whom you choose to surround yourself. Show me the company you keep, and I will reveal to you the undeniable trajectory of your life. For whether you consciously recognize it or not, you will inevitably become the average of the 5 people with whom you spend the most significant amount of time. Their habits will subtly become your habits. Their core beliefs will shape the contours of your own. Their standards will inevitably define yours. If you choose to surround yourself with individuals who perpetually complain, you will soon find yourself steeped in the corrosive atmosphere of excuses, drowning in the same debilitating mediocrity that holds them captive. If you walk among those who passively accept failure as their unavoidable fate, who perceive every obstacle as insurmountable, you will unconsciously adopt the same limiting perspectives. But if you actively seek the company of those who relentlessly push boundaries, who defy conventional odds, who refuse to settle for anything less than the full realization of their potential, then you too will inevitably rise to meet that elevated standard. You will find yourself pushing harder, thinking bigger, and acting with a greater, more resolute conviction. Choose your companions with the utmost care. The people in your immediate circle will either propel you forward or inexorably pull you backward. There is no neutral ground in the realm of influence. Deliberately surround yourself with individuals who sharpen the edge of your mind, who challenge your assumptions, who possess an unwavering commitment to excellence, and who absolutely refuse to allow you to settle for less than your absolute full potential. Actively seek out mentors, individuals of wisdom, men and women who have successfully navigated the very paths you aspire to travel. Engage in conversations that stretch the boundaries of your intellect, that force you to expand your vision beyond the familiar limitations of your current understanding. For understand this profound truth: the right environment possesses the power to transform you more rapidly and profoundly than any fleeting burst of motivation ever could. An individual need not rely on transient inspiration when they are fully immersed in a vibrant culture of excellence, in the constant presence of greatness. In such an environment, mediocrity becomes not only undesirable, but genuinely intolerable. In the focused, driven company of the ambitious, stagnation becomes an impossibility. So I declare to you, choose your circle with meticulous care. Walk among giants, and you will inevitably learn to stand tall yourself. Align yourself with deep thinkers, resolute doers, individuals of decisive action, and you will in turn become one yourself. If you harbor the sincere desire to elevate the quality of your life, you must first elevate your standards for the company you keep. For in the final analysis, your future is not determined by chance. It is meticulously forged by the hands of those you willingly allow into your world. A dream that remains without accompanying action is nothing more than a fleeting fantasy, a whispered wish, carried away on the wind, lost and dissipated, before it ever takes tangible form. Success does not passively arrive at the doorstep of the individual who merely waits, nor does it bestow its favor upon the one who simply hopes. It bows, and bows only, to the individual who moves, who works, who refuses to allow a single day to pass without making deliberate, tangible progress towards their aspirations. Dreams, in their ethereal state, hold no power. They do not work unless you actively do the work. You cannot simply sit idly by and expect success to come knocking upon your door. It simply will not happen. Fortune does not seek out the passive or the complacent. It rewards the relentless and the determined. Every individual who has ascended from obscurity to achieve true greatness has done so through the sheer force of their own sustained effort. They did not wait for the elusive perfect time. They did not postpone action until circumstances conveniently aligned in their favor. They began precisely where they were, with precisely what they had, and they took decisive, consistent action. And so you must do the same. Each new day presents an opportunity, a precious chance to step forward, no matter how small that step may initially seem. Meaningful momentum is not generated by a single isolated act of brilliance, but through the quiet, unwavering consistency of daily disciplined effort. An individual who deliberately moves forward by even an inch each day is over time miles ahead of the one who chooses to remain rooted in place. Begin now. Do something today, a tangible action, no matter how small, that brings you even incrementally closer to the realization of your goal. Do not be deceived by the pervasive illusion that great achievements appear magically overnight. They are, without exception, the cumulative result of countless small disciplined actions compounded steadily over extended periods. The writer who commits to penning a single page each day will in time hold a complete book in their hands. The individual who dedicates themselves to improving by just 1% daily will discover themselves transformed beyond recognition within the span of a year. This is the unshakable law of effort. It is inescapable, undeniable, and ultimately infallible. Those who consciously obey its principle rise. Those who choose to defy it inevitably fade into comfortable mediocrity. So I command you, take action. Not tomorrow, not next week. Take action today. Take action now. For the individual who chooses to move forward today is the one who will ultimately shape and rule their tomorrow. And the individual who chooses to wait, they will spend their life merely watching others achieve the very things they once only dared to dream of. The fundamental distinction between the individual who experiences consistent growth and the one who remains trapped in perpetual stagnation lies not in innate talent, favorable luck, or even the intensity of their initial effort alone. It resides in the deliberate practice of reflection. The world spins relentlessly onward, filled with countless individuals who rush headlong from one day into the next, without ever pausing, truly pausing, to ask themselves the vital question, what have I genuinely learned today? But the individual who consciously chooses to take a moment each night to look inward, to honestly assess their progress, to evaluate their actions, to actively seek pathways for refinement and improvement, places themselves leagues ahead of those who merely drift aimlessly through existence. Before you close your eyes in the quiet of the evening, make time for this vital ritual of reflection. Ask yourself searching questions. What did I execute well today? Where did I stumble or falter? How can I intentionally be better tomorrow? For success is not a static state of unattainable perfection. It is a dynamic, continuous process of learning, adapting, and growing stronger with each passing day. The individual who is paralyzed by the fear of making mistakes will seldom, if ever, take meaningful action, but the individual who embraces mistakes as invaluable lessons will learn to transmute failures into solid stepping stones and daunting obstacles into powerful opportunities. Each day, without exception, is a teacher. Some days will patiently instruct you in the virtue of patience. Others will rigorously test the limits of your discipline. Still others will starkly reveal weaknesses you had not yet consciously perceived. But every single day, if examined with unflinching honesty and courage, will leave you demonstrably wiser than you were before. The greatest individuals throughout history, those who reshaped entire industries, led nations through tumultuous times, and built legacies that echo through the ages, were not without their flaws, but they understood this profound truth. Self-awareness is the absolute foundation of true mastery. They did not blindly repeat the same detrimental errors. They studied themselves with the same meticulous attention that a master craftsman studies his work, making precise corrections, diligently refining their techniques, and relentlessly seeking improvement in every aspect of their being. And so you must emulate their example. Allocate dedicated time each evening to honestly assess the day that has unfolded. Write it down, if that aids your clarity. Celebrate the moments where you excel. Acknowledge, without judgment, but with firm resolve, where you fell short, not with the corrosive weight of regret, but with the steel-edged determination to improve. For the individual who actively seeks improvement, day after deliberate day, will rise far, far above the one who merely navigates through life without conscious awareness or intentional growth. Therefore, I implore you, do not under any circumstance allow a single day to pass without extracting its valuable lesson. The individual who consistently reflects, consciously adapts, and relentlessly seeks to grow is the individual who will, beyond doubt, master their future. Those who tragically fail to look inward will forever remain controlled by forces they neither understand nor can influence. But those who choose to study themselves with honesty and courage will hold the most powerful key to their own profound evolution. And in the end, that is the fundamental difference between those who truly succeed and those who merely exist. Listen closely now, for this is the summation of everything. These fundamental practices, these seemingly small habits, carry an impact that is immeasurable, capable of echoing through the entirety of your life. They are not mere suggestions. They are the bedrock foundation upon which a strong, resilient mind, a disciplined, unwavering character, and ultimately a powerful, fulfilled life are meticulously built. The piercing question that remains, the one that demands an honest answer from the deepest core of your being, is this: will you embrace them? Will you commit with unwavering resolve to weaving these small, deliberate daily actions into the fabric of your existence, the very actions that hold the undeniable power to lead you towards the realization of your greatest potential? The choice, ultimately, is and always will be yours alone. And if you choose wisely, with courage and commitment, the future self you are building will stand as a testament to that decision, profoundly grateful for the path you chose today. So let the contemplation end, and the transformation begin. What single habit out of these 10 will you courageously commit to starting today? Because the extraordinary life you envision, the future you yearn to inhabit, is not passively waiting for chance or circumstance to deliver it to you. It is waiting, actively waiting, for you to take decisive, unwavering action. And that power, my friend, the power to choose and to act, is always, always within your control.